Good evening and welcome to Wednesday's edition of the Regional News. We start with news from Bermuda. The Bermuda government has launched a comprehensive network of CCTV cameras across the island, with the National Security Minister Michael Weeks warning criminals, quote-unquote, someone has eyes on you, end of quote. The government is hoping that the system with almost 250 cameras will be fully functional by year-end. To date, there are only 75 cameras in operation. But Weeks said it was not just the blanket coverage of cameras that would revolutionize the fight against crime, and the authorities would be relying on the new technology, allowing surveillance equipment to provide higher resolution images that will allow the police to identify suspects and vehicles far more easily. Quote unquote, I have a message to the public. This CCTV system, once we have it implemented, is going to increase the feeling of safety and security for the whole country. We now look at news from Grenada. Grenadans are being urged to think before they act and to be kinder in their interactions with one another, as society has been recently dealing with acts of violence and loss of life. Prime Minister Decon Mitchell addressed the issue in a news conference, as he said the violent acts in recent weeks are a sad reminder that the actions of a few can derail the shared progress of Grenada, as well as plunge families into deep despair. He is calling on citizens to think before they act, as every act of violence affects the entire community emotionally and economically, as well as the livelihoods of Grenadans across the island. Community policing will be strengthened to get to the root of this violence, Mitchell said. According to statistics from the Royal Grenada Police Force, 14 homicides have been recorded so far for the year. In addition, there has been increased interdiction of illegal firearms. In 2022, around this time, 16 illegal firearms were interdicted, while as this year, 31 have been interdicted. A Panamanian court sentenced former President Ricardo Martinelli to more than 10 years in prison for money laundering, the Attorney General's office said, threatening the front-runner's bid for a new term next year. Martinelli stated his innocence following the decision in the case known as New Business, which alleges public funds were used to buy a media and gave the ex-president a majority stake. Quote unquote, we all know they want to convict me out of political interest, Martinelli said in a video. I have no ties to illicit funds, end of quote. 4 others were also sentenced for their involvement in the scheme, according to a statement from the Attorney General's office. Martinelli was ordered to pay a fine of $19.2 million, in addition to serving 128 months in prison. The former president's defense will appeal the sentence and exhaust all legal avenues available, Martinelli's lawyer Carlos Carrello said in a news conference. Thank you for watching. I'm TIANA.